right. And then I guess last question, which I wanted to, which I tweeted and threw in, for this interview, which is, and this guy, yeah, I just wanted to write this because I figured maybe it'll help, any viewers watching right now. But advice dating as a Christian in 2022, what would be your advice to, I guess from your experiences with just, young adults and everything like that, when it comes to just, like dating as a Christian in 2022, especially in the midst of I don't know if you guys see a lot of it, but like, it's a lot of like, especially nowadays, man, but it's a lot of like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with like the red pill stuff and all that. Yeah, it's like in the midst of like the red pill community, the Kevin Samuels, the whole like that side, and then you have the other side. I don't know, like just it's dating in 2022. It's kind of like it's all over the place. So I guess like the question would be like, as a Christian, like when you're starting out in this world, it's kind of like where do you guys see yourselves fitting in from your experiences and how to navigate that, and just maybe any advice for anyone kind of like trying to figure that space out, just because I don't know, it's something that especially in the Christian space I don't see talked about a lot, but what would be your advice to anyone just kind of like out there,
Yeah, it's tough. It's so hard to date because for like hopeless romantics like my brother and myself, like I love being in love. Like I love the idea of it. I love the the thought of being like having a family one day and still being happily married, and like still dating my wife, still like just having a great life and walking and all the while like following Christ and him being in the center of it. And so, man, this is what I've learned. I would say while you're dating, like while you're like trying to figure out what that looks like, first know your why. So what I mean by that, know your why, is know your purpose. What is God calling me to do in this life? Because ultimately, like we're here all for a reason. Like we have a calling and a destiny, and we need to fulfill that. That's whenever we die, we have to make an account of our life and like, okay, God, the gifts and talents you've given me, have I used those things to glorify you? Like, did I do my part in getting souls to the kingdom? Like with the gifts and talents that you've given me, like was I a light in this world? Did I use what you gave me? And so, a lot of people are dating not knowing their why. Why, like we have to seek, like especially this generation now more than ever, like we need to be seeking God's face more than ever and knowing, trying to understand what are we supposed to be doing, what's our mission, and then each person's mission is going to be different, and so that's going to help you. And once you figure that out, that's going to help you find the person that you need to be with. Because listen, I ain't trying to waste no time out here. If I know I'm called to do a certain thing, but I'm dating this girl that wants to be a third world missionary for the next 20 to 30 years of her life, that's probably not going to work out. I don't care how bad she looks, how attractive she is, how much we have in common. Eventually, if I just go ahead and ignore it, if I just keep ignoring like this inevitable block on the road, like pretty much like it's gonna get to that point to where like, okay, so are you gonna come with me to be this like third world missionary and like we're just gonna like be like this couple, whatever, or are you gonna stay here? You know what I'm saying? It's like it's gonna have to get to that point.
Yeah.
You don't want to put your money, your resources, your heart, your time that you can't get back onto this person, knowing good dang well that eventually you're gonna have to make a decision, and like who's going to, I don't want to say who's gonna yield to the other person's calling, but it shouldn't have to be that way. You know what I'm saying? Like you should know, your why, and that's going to help weed out. Like, okay, she's great, she's awesome, but probably not because she wants to do this. I know I'm called to do this. Like I know I'm called to do this, and it's like I don't see how that's going to work out. Like honestly, like she seems really settled in this, or he seems really settled in this, and I don't see that person changing. And so I can see in the long run that that's going to be a problem. And one of us is going to have to succumb to the other person's calling, and that can also cause resentment towards the end. It's like, man, I shouldn't have got with this person because, like, I'm doing what they know what they're supposed to be doing. Like, you know what I'm saying? But like, I know I'm not fulfilling what I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I'm saying? And like that causes resentment and like this like unforgiveness in marriage. And like, it's just not. You got to be thinking long term. That's the thing. Everyone's thinking short term. Everyone's thinking like face value, the looks, everything like that. No one's thinking the long term game of this. You need someone that's going to be able to walk and fulfill your purpose with. And that doesn't have to be the exact same thing. You don't have to have the exact same calling as somebody else. But you just got to make sure, like, the calling is not their calling, and your calling isn't going to have to make you, like, either one of you decide, like, or give up the calling that you have, you know what I'm saying, on your life. And so I think that's a big thing. We gotta know our why, and then that's gonna help us date more intentionally, with more discernment, and just more confidence, really. And so that blessed me.
No, that blessed me too. I don't even like. That hit my life too, because I was going through it, so I was like, dang, like, I actually needed that. Yeah, I won't even lie. Yeah.
Man, I'm glad, bro, for sure. So, that'd be my knowledge. I mean, that's my I guess that's my little two piece right there. But bro. That's what I would say.
No, just because like, and I wanted to ask that especially just because I think we're in a day and age too where it's just like I think it's it's partly a problem that's unaddressed in the church today, where it's kind of like, I think it's this like pseudo theology of just like the concept of like, waiting for the right one. You know what I mean? Whether you just grew up in church all your life and you're just like, man, I'm gonna wait till marriage to find this girl, and then I'm gonna live happily ever after. Just whatever. Whenever you become a Christian, and it's kind of like, you know what I mean? Like the day you do set your mind on like, okay, like this is what I'm gonna settle for. I'm gonna like the next person I meet, it's gonna be like the one God sends for me and everything like that. And then like boom, we're gonna get married and live happily ever after. I think it gets not addressed enough in the church, because it's kind of like I think, because I've heard stories of just like a lot of Christians, not all, but like some Christians that, from their dating experiences, it's kind of like it just doesn't work out that way. Some people, they might get with, Christians that like end up kind of like using them or whatever, and it's kind of like they end up in a toxic situation. Or others where it's just like they're just not ready for each other. They get pressured into kind of like a situation they don't want to be in, you know what I mean? Or just like one person's like, I don't know, sexually immoral, and then the other person's kind of like, they're kind of like trying to like stay away from that. It's kind of like a one person's unequally yoked type thing, and it's just like a lot of people end up in that situation where it's kind of like they kind of firsthand walked in being like, oh, like I'm gonna find Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, and then I'm gonna finally get married and have a family and just live happily ever after. I don't know. I just think that stuff doesn't really just get addressed enough in the church, especially for singles, because it's kind of like, a lot of singles especially just need that guidance and direction as to how to navigate that whole space and everything like that, and how to discern where God is calling them, and at the same time while trying to balance out like, okay, like who's the right person for me, and you know what I mean? And even that's a whole hurdle for a lot of people, with just like figuring out okay, like do I wait on someone to like show up, or do I just like, I don't know, or do I just go pursue someone or whatever, you know what I mean? And it's just like it's a whole space that's like not really, I find, like fleshed out enough in the church, but yeah, no, for sure, like we need those types of like answers, just because I think a lot of people are like looking for that, and a lot of people need to I don't know, find the right people to be around and just kind of like encourage them along and just kind of like help them in that space and regard. So yeah.
I agree, dude. This channel I've been watching, it's a Christian channel, and their church, and their YouTube channel is called Redefine TV.
Okay.
And his name is Pastor Jerry Flowers, and they're a young black couple, probably like mid-30s. I have been watching a lot of their stuff. I wish there were so many more churches like them, because listen, they don't care what if it's hurting anyone's feelings. Like they're trying to help. They're trying to help this generation how to date, and it's all rooted in the Word of God too. But I mean, it's really helped me. It's really helped me a lot. Like that answer I gave you guys, that was just from listening to his sermon, and I was like, dang, this is conviction for me, and it's helped me, how to date properly and all that too. And it's just like I'll send you his channel after this.
Yeah, actually send it. Yeah, Redefine TV.
Yeah, Redefine TV. I mean, he's got he's also he's on Spotify too, like the whole podcast. Every sermon that you hear, or anything like that, or Therapy Thursdays, he also has those too. He puts it on Spotify, and man, it's just good stuff. It's good stuff.
Yeah.
I wish there was more churches like that address, like you were saying, just address it. I was lucky to find that channel. I really, it's really cool. Production is really neat. Everything.